If you grew up in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, you remember the sound of home, not silence, not the quiet hum of central air and hidden electronics. Actual sound, the tick of the kitchen clock, the low murmur of the TV in the next room, your mom's radio playing soft rock or talk shows while she cooked dinner, the refrigerator kicking on with a mechanical groan, the washing machine clunking through its cycles. Life had a soundtrack back then, a constant low-level hum that told you everything was normal, everything was okay. If you're younger, imagine a house that was never truly quiet, where sound meant life, where you could tell what time of day it was just by what you heard. This video walks through 5 everyday things about life in the 70s, 80s, and 90s that have mostly disappeared. Not big events, just the texture of daily life, the sounds, the paper, the little rituals, the objects every house had, and the way life was built around waiting. If this brings back memories, drop a comment and let me know what hit hardest. And go ahead and hit that like button if you're enjoying this trip back. Houses back then were never truly silent. There was always something making noise. The TV stayed on in the living room or kitchen even if nobody was really watching. Volume low, just background. The evening news while your mom made dinner. Game shows in the afternoon. Saturday morning cartoons that you could hear from your bedroom even if you weren't downstairs yet. The kitchen radio was almost always on too. Your mom or dad would tune it to the same station every morning. Soft rock, oldies, talk radio, sports games on Sunday afternoons. The DJ's voice became familiar like a neighbor checking in. You'd hear the same commercials, the same traffic reports, the same weather updates day after day. It was comforting, predictable. Then there were the mechanical sounds. The wall clock in the kitchen or dining room ticking loud enough that you could hear it from the next room. The hum of the refrigerator, steady and low, punctuated by the occasional kick-on when the compressor started. The washing machine clunking through its cycles in the laundry room or basement. The dishwasher's rhythmic swish and spray, the box fan in the window, oscillating slowly, blades humming. At night, the sounds changed. The TV would shift to late-night shows, then infomercials, then eventually static or color bars when programming ended. You'd hear that final click as someone turned the set off. Maybe the VCR rewinding a tape, that high-pitched whir that seemed to take forever, the house settling, creaks and sighs. If you lived through this, you could tell what time of day it was just by listening. Morning meant the percolator and the radio. Afternoon meant soap operas or talk shows. Evening meant the news. Night meant quiet but never silence. The house was always talking. Life back then ran on paper. Little pieces of it everywhere. Shopping lists scribbled on the back of envelopes or torn from small notepads. Your mom would stick them to the fridge with souvenir magnets, one from Yellowstone, one from the beach, one shaped like a pineapple. The list would say things like milk, eggs, bread, call Dr. Roberts. By the landline phone, usually on the wall in the kitchen or on a little table in the hallway, there'd be a message pad. Pre-printed forms with spaces for to, from, time, and message. Your dad would scribble mark called wants you to call back with the time written in the margin. Sometimes there'd be doodles. Sometimes the handwriting was barely legible, but that's how information moved, through paper. Address books and paper agendas sat in drawers or on countertops. Every phone number you needed was handwritten in there. Relatives, neighbors, the dentist, the pizza place, the school office. If you lost that book, you were in trouble. You'd have to call directory assistants and rebuild it from scratch, one number at a time. School papers piled up on the kitchen table. Permission slips, newsletters, lunch menus, calendars with important dates circled in red. Your mom would tape things to the fridge or pin them to a corkboard in the hallway. The house itself held your family's memory. Important information wasn't in your phone, it was posted somewhere, stuck to something, written down. If you're younger, imagine not being able to just search for a phone number or check your calendar app. Imagine your whole life organized through magnets, notes, and scribbled reminders. That's how it was. The fridge was the family command center, and honestly, it worked. Watching TV wasn't passive back then. It required work. You'd adjust the antenna, those metal rabbit ears on top of the set, moving them left, right, tilting them at weird angles, trying to get a clearer picture. Sometimes you'd wrap aluminum foil around the tips. Sometimes your dad would send you to stand by the window holding the antenna wire, and you'd have to stay there, frozen, while everyone else watched. When the picture rolled or the signal went fuzzy, you'd walk over and hit the side of the TV. Not hard, just a firm tap. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but everyone did it. It was ritual, part of the experience. You recognized shows from their opening themes. You knew the evening by the TV schedule. Monday night meant one show, Thursday night meant another. If you missed it, you missed it. No recording unless you had a VCR, and even then, you had to remember to set it up. If you'd like a longer, deeper version of this story, tell me in the comments and write longer version. Now, let's keep going. Recording songs from the radio was its own ritual. You'd sit there with a blank cassette in the deck, waiting for your favorite song, hand hovering over the rec and play buttons, trying to time it perfectly so the DJ didn't talk over the intro. When it finally came on, you'd hit the buttons and hold your breath, hoping nobody in the house made noise that would ruin the recording. Late at night or early in the morning, TV looked different. Color bars, test patterns, station logos, sometimes a national anthem before programming shut down for the night. Today, TV never stops. Back then, it slept, and so did you. Walk into any house in the 70s, 80s, or 90s and you'd see the same stuff. A ticking wall clock in the kitchen or dining room, round, loud, the kind you could hear from the next room. Plastic laundry baskets with big holes or woven hampers in the hallway or bathroom, always half full. Media was everywhere: tape racks, CD towers, shelves of vinyl records, a stereo system or boombox in the living room or bedroom with speakers you could actually see, the landline phone on the wall with a long curly cord trailing through the kitchen, sometimes rotary, sometimes push-button, but always shared, one phone for the whole family. Ashtrays sat on coffee tables or the porch, even in homes where only guests smoked. Little glass dishes, ceramic, sometimes shaped like seashells or turtles. TV trays folded up and leaned against the wall, ready to be pulled out for dinner in front of the TV. Remote controls were prized objects, chunky and heavy, with actual buttons you had to press hard. Decorative glass candy dishes always had something in them. Mints, wrapped candies, sometimes butterscotch or strawberry bonbons that had been there so long they'd fused to the wrapper. Nobody ate them, they just existed, part of the decor. You could almost date a photo of a living room just from the objects. The wood paneling, the shag carpet, the console TV, the rotary phone, the clock, the ashtray, all of it together created a specific feeling, a specific era, and if you grew up then you can close your eyes and see it perfectly. Life moved slower back then because you had to wait for everything. You'd wait for the mail, letters from relatives, friends, pen pals, birthday cards with handwriting you recognized even from the envelope. You'd check the mailbox every day, hoping something good would be there, not bills, not junk, something personal, something real. You'd wait for photos to be developed, drop the roll of film off at the drugstore, days would pass, maybe a week. Then you'd pick up that little envelope, rip it open right there in the parking lot and flip through the prints one by one, some perfect, some terrible, but you kept them all because they were proof the day happened, proof the memory was real. You'd wait for songs, keep the radio on for hours, hoping they'd play that one track you loved. Or you'd wait for a music video to come on MTV, sitting through show after show, refusing to leave the room in case you missed it. You'd wait for people, a friend to show up on their bike, a family member to come home from work or a trip. You'd listen for the car in the driveway, the key in the door, the sound of footsteps, no tracking, no texts, just waiting, trusting, hoping they'd show up when they said they would. And here's the thing, waiting made things feel bigger, more important. When the letter finally came, it mattered. When the photos came back, you cherished them. When the song played, you stopped everything and listened. Today, everything's instant. Back then, the slowness itself shaped how deep the memories went. And maybe that's why those memories still feel so vivid now. Those are the 5 things. If you grew up in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, you probably remember at least some of these. The sounds, the paper, the rituals, the objects, the waiting. It wasn't perfect. Some things are easier today, but there was something about the texture of life back then, the way it felt slower, noisier, more tactile, that's hard to put into words. Drop a comment and tell me what you remember most. And if you want the full, longer version, just let me know.